For this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to identify different rock types. The first rock type I'm going to go over is igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are those formed by cooling and solidification of magma and molten rocks. There are two types of properties we use to tell them apart: composition and texture. Composition is the mineral that make up of a rock, while textures describes the physical characteristics of the mineral and relates to the cooling history. Texture tells us how and where that melt cooled and formed solid rock. When talking about igneous rocks, we use the term felsic and mafic. Felsic minerals are lighter in color, while mafic minerals are usually darker in color. We can also look at crystal size to see if the rock cooled quickly or slowly. Large crystals suggest the rock cooled slowly, while small crystals suggest the rock cooled quickly. When looking at texture of igneous rocks, we use phaneritic, aphanitic, glassy, and frothy. Phaneritic is a large crystal that you can see with the naked eye. Aphanitic is a crystal that is too small to see. Glassy means it is no crystals at all and it is one big mass, which it also suggests that it cooled very quickly. While frothy means it has bubbles or holes in it, which it suggests cooled on the surface, and holes are signs of volcanic gas used to be in there. I will now demonstrate two examples of igneous rocks. My first example is going to be granite. This is granite right here. The rock composition is felsic, which suggests that it's lighter in color. The rock texture is phaneritic, which means that you can see the crystals with the naked eye. Both of those suggest that this was formed and cooled slowly deep in the crust. And for my second example I'm going to use is pumice. So pumice's rock composition is felsic because it's lighter in color. The rock texture is frothy because it has holes in it. You can see the holes there. The holes suggest that it is cooled on the surface. The bubbles or holes are a sign of volcanic gas used to be there before escaping. Next, we're going to go over sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are formed by sedimentary processes, including sediments, lithifying, and precipitation form solutions. Lithification is the process of turning sediment into a sedimentary rock, including decomposition, compaction, and cementation. There are two types of sedimentary rocks: clastic and chemical. Chemical rocks are made from minerals that precipitates directly from the surface fluids, while clastic is a rock that are made and compacted of cementic debris. Clastic rocks can be classified into two types: organic and detrital. Detrital means it is made of mineral grains weathered as mechanical detritus of previous rocks like gravel or sand. The only way to get to know sedimentary rocks is by doing hands-on experiences. For example, limestone will fizz if you drop vinegar on it, or if the particle of the rocks are greater than 1 millimeter across and it looks like minerals is quartz, then it's probably sandstone. On that note, let's get into my two examples. My first example is shale. That's shale. It's thin. Shale is a detrital clastic sedimentary rock. We know this because it's not white and it's clastic, so therefore it has to be detrital. The color of the rock comes from the minerals, and it's thin and sharp. So this all suggests that it's shale. Shale is also one of the most common sedimentary rocks on the planet and can be formed anywhere from the deep ocean floor or to the dried up floodplains. My second example is fossiliferous limestone. You can't really see. Fossiliferous limestone is a chemical sedimentary rock. It has a lot of visible fossils on it, and which actually is the definition of fossiliferous limestone. We can also drop vinegar on it and the rock will start fizzing. I got some vinegar right here. You can see that fizzing in there. Sorry if it was hard to see. Because of the fossil, we can determine that the rocks are formed on the ocean floor or the reef. The fossils are a good indication of that, definitely. The next type of rock we're going to jump into is metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are rocks that are formed deep in the crust, under extreme heat and high pressures. This extreme conditions change the minerals or mineral properties in alignment in order to form metamorphic rocks. It's important to remember metamorphic rocks do not form on Earth's surface. There are two types of metamorphic rock textures, foliated and non-foliated. Foliated means there is a planar alignment of minerals and textures within the rock. Non-foliated is a metamorphic texture that do not have a directional component of its minerals. For that, I'm going to jump straight into my examples. My first example is quartzite. Quartzite looks like this. It's all one solid rock. Quartzite is a non-foliated because it has no alignment of minerals or grains, and it has no foliation. Another tale is that it's or another indication is that it's all made up of one mineral, as you can see. For my next example, I'm gonna do is mica schist. You can see there, you can see the different layers beat up in there. So mica schist is a foliated texture, and we know this because there's those layers of mica within the rock, and it demonstrates planar alignment. With that, that concludes my video on identifying different rock types. Thank you.